Joining us now to talk about what's happening in and around the city, in Quebec City and in the country, we have Imam Musabir Alam from the Canadian Muslim Alliance and Razia Hamidi from the National Council of Canadian Muslims. Welcome to both of you on this very somber occasion. Thank you for taking the time for us. First, I guess I want to ask you, how are you? How are you feeling? What is the sense in the community as it's already been 2 years and it really feels like yesterday?
Yeah. It's hard to believe that it's been 2 years. And I know the Muslim community is still grieving. I think it's been, as much as we want to move forward, it's difficult when you continue to see the rise of anti-Islam. You see Islamophobia, racism, and rhetoric, anti-Muslim rhetoric being used in the political on the political stage and just being pushed forward. That narrative is still there. We have to remember that this tragedy didn't occur in a vacuum. It was the climate around it, and we continue to see that climate here in Quebec especially. So it's hard to move forward from it when it feels like we haven't progressed in these last 2 years. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of Islamophobia. Muslim women with the hijab are often the biggest target of Islamophobia.
Because you're most visible.
Exactly.
Right. I want to speak with the Imam now about, this attack happened in a place of worship during prayer in a mosque. We talk about 6 people who were killed, so 6 families destroyed, 19 others injured. Someone is completely paralyzed. The community devastated. Take me back, if you will, to when it happened, and was there a sense of fear? Were people afraid to go to their mosques? And has that changed today?
Well, definitely it was something very, very shocking. And as it was happening and the stories were unfolding, I remember going back to January 29th, 2017, when we started getting this news and people started calling the mosque, our local mosque. People were not sure if they should be coming to the mosque. But I think over time it has cooled down a little bit. But also, as Razia mentioned, that the anti-Muslim rhetoric is on the rise, and the recent shooting in the Tree for Life synagogue in Pittsburgh, that didn't help either. So we can see that still is people in the community, they're not comfortable and they're still feeling targeted and insecure in many ways.
So I want to talk about the CAQ, I do, but you just mentioned Pittsburgh, and what we saw there and what we saw here after this attack was communities coming together. Communities that, you look in the media and they're traditionally pitted against each other all the time. The Jewish community and the Muslim communities have come together. Talk to us about the positive things, if you can, if anything that came from this, do you think?
There's been a lot of support since the last 2 years with other faith communities and just community organizations reaching out, showing their support. But unfortunately, we can't. It doesn't counter the other voice and narrative we're hearing, right? And as you said, pitted against each other. That's what we continuously see, like a target, creating like a class system with bills that are being proposed currently here in Quebec. So there's been support, but unfortunately, we can do more. And Quebec is at its best when we see that support coming through and saying that, even if I'm not affected, when we're all the victims of hate crimes, when one group is.
Agreed. It's not because it's happening to them that it's not happening to me. Let's talk now about the CAQ. Both of you are quite worried about the recent news, about that they're looking to get numbers and they're looking to, teachers and with the SQ. Do you have a message for the current government? Because the current government says, we campaigned on this. We said we were going to do it. We're going to do it. Don't worry, we're not really targeting anyone. I see you smiling. Why are you? You're smiling. Yeah, tell me.
Well, I think, it's going back to the 2014, the Charte de Valeurs. It was similar, and then we fought it together. This is a little bit different. They're targeting specific groups, and obviously, yesterday they reached out to the school board, and we're hearing the news that they're inquiring how many people are with the religious groups. I don't think, this is the right way to move forward, and obviously, the CAQ, they came with this mandate, but the communities are together, as you said, the faith communities are together. We have support for each other. The Jewish community and the Muslim community, our bonds are stronger than before. So I think we're going to be together to, address this issue.
And you're both talking about allies and the importance of finding these allies. So, Razia, I'll ask you, it seems far away. Some people say, oh, well, that was Quebec City. That would never happen in Montreal. And I don't really know those people. And what do you want people to know about the lives that were lost and the communities affected and the people affected, and as the city marks this, as the province marks this?
I think that we need to remember, again, that this didn't occur in a vacuum. And the current narrative that the CAQ is pushing forward, creating a class system and limiting the rights and opportunities of certain citizens based on their religious practice is very real. And we all have a responsibility to stand up for that. We have a responsibility to say that that's not the Quebec I live in. That is not when Quebec is at its best, and to call their MNAs to make their stance. I think we can't passively observe and watch this bill go through if it does. I think.
Are you hopeful?
I am hopeful. We are going to challenge it. We are going to create awareness, and I think gatherings that are going to be happening today, these are all signs of hope. That people are remembering it, and we will not forget the victims, and we'll move forward from it.
Razia Hamidi and Alam Musabir Alam, sorry, for an imam. Thank you so much for joining us. As we all continue to grieve with you and mourn with you, and come back anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for